Got into really, I'd say, this space in 2013 through Bitcoin mining. So that was the beginning of my foray into it. Started just building all of these different rigs. So starting with computers, so CPU, and then getting these PSUs, hooking up GPUs, and then learning everything I could about FPGAs, ASICs, you name it. Yeah. And, flash forwards then a couple of years, Dom and I, we co-founded EasyA. Ripple team, actually, they come to one of our hackathons, and they're like, whoa, we got to start working together, right? Obviously, we'd known about Ripple, but that was when they were like, guys, we need to start working together. And the relationship has just grown and blossomed ever since.
Yeah. Obviously we're brothers, so we share many of the same hobbies. For me, my background's in finance, so I did my undergrad at Wharton, and then I worked at Blackstone and Goldman, and really sort of was always interested in finance, but saw the potential of blockchain to really revolutionize finance. And I think that's really a big part of what we do and what everyone's excited about. TradFi is been going on in the same processes for 20, 30 years, and now it's time for DeFi to take over.
What does Ripple mean to you?
Future of finance.
That's it. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on, family and friends? Ray Fuentes here. In this episode, I'm excited to share an exclusive interview with two powerhouses in the blockchain space. That's Dom and Phil Kwok, aka the Kwok Bros, co-founders of the EasyA app and the driving force behind one of the fastest growing Web3 developer communities in the world. I caught up with the Kwok Bros at XRP Las Vegas, the largest XRP conference in the world, catering to retail investors, where the Kwok Bros co-hosted a Shark Tank style hackathon, awarding those big checks to developers with even bigger dreams, building real-world use cases on the XRP Ledger. We dive into some of the top projects, their vision for the XRP ecosystem, and how EasyA is creating massive momentum by empowering the builders, not just the users. If you're new to blockchain or looking for a smart, engaging way to deepen your knowledge, the EasyA app is a phenomenal onboarding tool. Whether you're curious about the XRP Ledger, Flare, or other networks, you can take free courses, level up with XP points, and actually have fun while learning about the future of finance. Dom and Phil have really taken a sophisticated, gamified approach for onboarding the next wave of not just developers on the XRPL, but everyday people intrigued by the institutional-grade blockchain infrastructure. I also had the privilege of reconnecting with Dom and Phil just weeks following this interview, bumping into the two legends at Ripple's XRPL Apex conference in Singapore, where they hosted another high-energy hackathon in partnership with Ripple Labs. These two bros are so awesome and remind me of the love that me and my little brother have for each other. So let's dive into this exclusive interview with the Kwok brothers at XRP Las Vegas. Thanks for tuning in. Love you mucho. What's going on, family and friends? It's day 2 at the XRP Las Vegas conference, and I've got none other than Dom and Phil, co-founders of the EasyA app, one of the fastest growing communities on the XRPL, driving considerable amount of adoption, not just by anybody, but the builders. How you guys doing today?
Amazing. First of all, thank you very much for having us on, Ray.
Absolutely, Phil. You, Dom?
Yeah, doing really good. Thanks, Ray, for having us on.
Oh, well, thank you, boys, for joining me. Now, you guys are spearheading a first ever Shark Tank competition at the XRP Las Vegas conference. How was that competition?
It was crazy. I mean, we had so many applications. We had to filter it down to the final 10 finalists. So we had them all up yesterday. We're right now going to sync up with the judges to decide that absolute first winner. But it's been amazing. Like, people's passion, people's stories, hearing how they got into the XRP Ledger blew my mind, really.
What about
Yeah,
you?
I mean, it's so cool always to see the actual real-world use cases of the XRP Ledger. I think a lot of people don't normally see that. And that was the point of the Shark Tank pitch competition. And obviously, hopefully, to actually spur on these projects to continue building and become the next big thing.
Would you be willing to discuss the types of projects that you saw today, maybe one closer to the top?
Definitely. Well, we have a couple. So close to the top, we have one guy who is revolutionizing the way that commodities are traded. So bringing that all into the XRP Ledger, cutting out the fees that big banks charge. So that's typically like a 1 to 2%. You're talking about billions of dollars of trades every single year, every single day even.
Yeah.
We have another one that is bringing complete transparency to charitable donations. Another project that is building in the AI agent space. So those are like our top contenders right now. Some others who are really bringing self-sovereignty to individuals. So just, I mean, so many cool ideas.
What about you, Dom? Any projects that are tickling your fancy that you saw today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like Phil said, so many cool projects, so many talented people actually coming into the space right now. And that's what we're working to drive even more of. I think, one of the really cool projects is actually charitable giving on the blockchain. allows anyone to actually track where the money they give to charity is actually ending up. And that's a huge problem right now. You know, a lot of people give money to charity, maybe only a fraction of it actually ends up in the cause they donated the money for. So that's a really cool one. I'm looking forward to actually seeing get built out further on the XRP Ledger.
Shifting gears, gentlemen, what inspired you both to pursue this new endeavor on the XRPL, building companies, this entrepreneurial mindset? Where do you guys get your inspiration from?
Well, I mean, if you look at our whole journey, we've been building together since we were kids. Like my first entrepreneurial endeavor was selling paper airplanes in the playground. I had this special technique to make them, and I would just sell them to other kids, right? So I'd go up and I'd steal paper from the art center in the school, and then I'd take it and sell it. And I was just a primary school. Got into really, I'd say, this space in 2013 through Bitcoin mining. So that was the beginning of my foray into it. Started just building all of these different rigs. So starting with computers, so CPU, and then getting these PSUs hooking up GPUs, and then learning everything I could about FPGAs, ASICs, you name it. Yeah. And, flash forwards then a couple of years, Dom and I, we co-founded EasyA. Ripple team, actually, they come to one of our hackathons, and they're like, whoa, we got to start working together, right? Obviously, we'd known about Ripple, but that was when they were like, guys, we need to start working together, and the relationship has just grown and blossomed ever since.
Yeah. What about you, Dom? I don't know if you were building paper airplanes or working out, sir, doing squats.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we're brothers, so we share many of the same hobbies. For me, my background's in finance, so I did my undergrad at Wharton, and then I worked at Blackstone and Goldman, and, really sort of, was always interested in finance, but saw the potential of blockchain to really revolutionize finance. And I think, that's really a big part of what we do and what everyone's excited about. TradFi is been going on in the same processes for 20, 30 years, and now it's time for DeFi to take over. So really passionate about driving that adoption and making sure that we're the ones who are actually pioneering that, obviously alongside our amazing partners like Ripple.
Yeah. Now, seeing this technological advancement through the financial lens and due to your background, did it seem taboo to you when you first heard about Bitcoin, this digital internet money, or did it make sense?
When I first, talked about crypto with the people I worked with at Blackstone and Goldman, they were, very hesitant to actually really think about it and, even acknowledge it. But now they're all kind of, actually coming to our events in many cases and actually asking how they can get into the space. So definitely a massive sentiment shift.
Yeah, big time, big time. All right, gentlemen, before I let you go, because I know you got to get on stage here and announce the winners here. And are you good? What's the next adventure for you guys? Because you're traveling all over the world, hosting hackathons, maybe at Harvard or Stanford. What's next?
Next stop, we're going to be back in SF, and then we're going to head from SF straight to Singapore for Apex. We're hosting a big hackathon there together with Ripple, together with actually Ripple Impact as well, which is the social good arm. So Ripple Impact, and yeah, it's going to be fantastic. So hopping on that, we take off Tuesday evening and land on Thursday morning. So it's a long flight.
Last question for you, Dom. What does Ripple mean to you?
Future of finance.
That's it. Thank you. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. How can those in the audience follow you and learn more about you as leaders and of course, EasyA?
Thank you so much for having us on, Ray. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Ray. This is epic. Thank you.
Before I let you, how can those in the audience follow you, and what's the best way to follow you as leaders and obviously to immerse themselves in the EasyA app?
Well, first of all, immerse themselves in the EasyA app. They've got to download it. So it's EasyA, EASYA, all one word, on the Play Store, App Store, and then follow us on Twitter, EasyA_app. And of course, you got Dom Kwok, Dom_Kwok, and you got me, Kwok Phil. So it's a bit confusing, but not really. I mean, you can wrap your head around it.
I'll be sure to drop the links to your profiles and the EasyA app in the description and comments below. Gentlemen, I hope you have a safe travels to Singapore, and thank you for sharing your time with me here at the XRPL Las Vegas conference, the largest XRP conference in the world.
And XRPL Apex next.
There we go.
Cool. Thanks, Ray.
Thank
See you soon.
Thank you, sir.